Dear students, we are going to discuss a new poem, namely Fear No More. The present poem is composed by William Shakespeare, who is a great dramatist and great sonneteer. Before the beginning of this poem, we will focus on the introduction of this poem. See the introduction. This poem has been taken from Shakespeare's play Cymbeline. This is a death poem having universal appeal. So, this poem is about death, and death is universal truth. It should be accepted by each and everyone. In this poem, the poet has expressed his feeling for the rest of the soul of the dead. The poet has expressed his feeling for the rest of the soul of the dead. It is written for the consolation of the dead. This is the main point of this poem. Why this poem has been written? This poem is written for the consolation of dead. In this poem, we will see how the poet has consoled the dead. The poet wants to say that a dead person becomes free from all kinds of worldly anxieties, worldly sufferings, worldly bondages. So, a dead person is free from any kind of relationship with the world. He is free from any kind of likings or dislikings. It is full of moral lessons. The present poem is full of moral lessons. So, this is the introduction of this poem, and especially this poem focuses on death, or you can say death is the theme of this poem. And this poem is written for the consolation of the dead. The poet believes that a dead person is free from worldly anxieties, worldly sufferings, worldly bondages. A dead person lives in peace. In this poem, the poet has also described that we should not be afraid of death. We should not have any kind of fear regarding death, because death is certain. Death is certain. It comes to everyone. Death doesn't create discrimination. The poet has given several examples in the poem Through these examples, he tried to prove that fear no more. No need to fear. We should not be afraid of anything. A person should not be afraid of death. It is certain, it is everlasting, it is perpetual, it is forever. Everyone has to face death. And remember, death doesn't make discrimination. It is equal for rich and poor. Okay, so this is the outline of the poem, that is Fear No More. Now we proceed towards the first stanza of this poem. Fear no more the heat of the sun. So, as I told you, this poem is about death, and this poem is written for the consolation of dead person. Suppose a person dies, then what happens? You see, fear no more the heat of the sun. A dead body never feels the heat of the sun. So, a dead person is away from the heat of the sun, nor the furious winter's rages. A dead person is not going to face the fearful, dreadful winter. He is not going to face the anger of winter. He is not going to face the deep cold. He is not going to face the scorching heat. So he's saying, the poet is saying, fear no more the heat of the sun. A person who is dead, he doesn't feel the scorching heat of the sun. He doesn't feel the rages, the anger of winter. He doesn't face fearful winter. So a dead person is away from the scorching of the heat, scorching heat of the sun. He is away from the furious winter. Thou, you, thy, your worldly task has done. A person who dies, his worldly task has been done. The poet is saying, when a person dies, it means that his worldly task has been done. He is away from his worldly activities, worldly jobs. Home are gone. After death, a person reaches his destiny. After death, a person reaches his permanent place. What is the permanent place of a person? The permanent place of a person is heaven, paradise. From paradise we have come on the earth. After performing our worldly tasks, we go to our permanent house, that is heaven or paradise. So we come from heaven. We come from heaven. We take birth on this earth, in this world. After performing our worldly tasks, we return to our home, our home is heaven. And taken thy wages. Here, the poet is trying to say that as laborer works for the whole day, after that he took his wages and returned to his home. In the same way, a person, after performing his worldly tasks, he returns to his home, that is paradise or heaven. So, here in these four lines, the poet is trying to say that a dead person is away from the scorching heat of the sun. A dead person is free from dreadful, fearful winter. A dead person is away from the rages of winter. A dead person is away from the worldly tasks because he has done his worldly task. After performing his worldly task, he returns to his home, and his home is paradise, his home is heaven. Here the poet has given one example of laborers. As laborers work for the whole day, and after taking their wages, they return to their home. In the same way, a dead person, after performing his worldly duties, worldly jobs, or worldly tasks, he returns to his home, that is heaven or paradise. Golden lads and girls all must. Golden lads here refers to young children. Golden lads and girls. Golden lads and girls refer to young boys and young children. All must. As chimney sweepers. Again, chimney sweepers refers to the worldly people. Come to dust. The poet says that young boy, young girl, chimney sweepers, all will come to dust. All will become the part of death. All will have to face death. Death is eternal. Everyone who has taken birth here has to die. So, in the first stanza, the poet says that a dead person is away from the scorching heat of the sun. A dead person is away from the rages of winter. A dead person is away from dreadful, fearful winter. You, thou, thy worldly task. Thou here refers to a dead person. Your worldly task has done, and after performing your worldly task, you return to your home. Your home is paradise. The poet has given the example of the laborers. As laborers work for the whole day, and after taking their wages, they return to their houses. In the same way, a dead person, after performing his worldly task, he returns to his home, that is paradise. Further, the poet says that golden lads and girls all must. Young boys, young girls, chimney sweepers come to dust, means everyone will become the part of death. Now we move towards the second stanza. Again, the line is repeated. Fear no more the frown of the great. Fear no more the frown of the great. Frown here means displeasure. displeasure of the great. Fear no more the frown of the great, displeasure of the great. So a dead person is away from pleasure or displeasure. He has no meaning. He has no meaning. He doesn't pay any attention to the pleasure or displeasure. A dead person is away from the pleasure or displeasure. Thou art past thy the tyrant's stroke. Thou art past, you are past. You are dead now. The tyrant's stroke, cruel stroke. The world is full of miseries. The world is full of anxieties. The world is full of sorrows. So the poet is saying you are away from the worldly sufferings. You are away from this cruel world. So there is no need to fear of something. Addressing to the dead person, he says that you are free. You are away from the displeasure of this world. You are away from the tyrannies of this world. You are away from the sufferings of the world. So thou here refers to again a dead person. You are past, you are dead. A dead person is away from displeasure. He is away from the cruel world. He is away from the cruel world. Okay. Care no more to cloth or eat. He doesn't care of clothes and eatings. He is away from these things, worldly things. To thee the reed is as the oak. The sceptre, learning, physic must all follow this. What? Everyone has to become the part of death. A sceptre, a powerful person, will also become the part of death. Physic, a person who has a good physic, a powerful person, a good physic, a person who has a attractive physic, he will also become the part of death. He has to die. Learning, a person who is learned, a scholar person will also become the part of death. All follow this. What? Everyone will become the part of death. Everyone will become dead. Come to dust. You will become the part of dust. You will become the part of death. So here again, the poet is saying that no need to fear. A dead person will not fear of displeasure. He will not fear of the cruel world. He will not be afraid of fearful world. He is away from all the bondages, worldly bondages. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about clothes. He doesn't care about food. He is away. So a dead person doesn't care about pleasure or displeasure. He doesn't care about this cruel world. He doesn't care about clothes. He doesn't care about food. Further, the poet says that the scepter, learned person, physic, everyone will become the part of death. Everyone has to die. Everyone will become dead. And when everyone become dead, they will be away from this place, cruel world. Do not care about cloth. Do not care about food. Do not care about this worldly pleasure or displeasure. Okay. Now move to next. Fear no more the lightning flash. There is no impact of lightning flash on dead person. Nor all dreaded thunderstorm. There is no impact of fearful thunderstorm on dead person. So the poet is saying a dead person is away from lightning flash. He is not afraid of lightning flash. He is not afraid of fearful, dreadful thunder. His fear not slander, insult, censor. He is not afraid of condemnation. He is not afraid of condemnation. He is not afraid of insult. Okay, he is free. A dead person is free. He is free. He is away from insult, condemnation. So, here in these three lines, the poet is saying that a dead person is away from, he is not afraid of lightning flash, he is not afraid of fearful thunder, he is not afraid of insult, he is not afraid of condemnation, because he has gone to his home, that is paradise. He is away from worldly pleasure, displeasure, or pains or sufferings. He has no meaning of insult or condemnation. He has no meaning for lightning flash. He is no meaning of thunderstorm. So a dead person is free from. A dead person has no fear of lightning flash. He has no fear of fearful thunder. He has no fear of insult, slander, insult, censor, condemnation. Thou hast finished joy and mourn. You have finished your joy and mourn. You are away from your pain and enjoyment. You are away from your sufferings and happiness. All lovers, young, all lovers must consign to thee. Consign here means appropriate. They are legible. All lovers, young, everyone is legible. Okay, for what? For death. Come to death. Everyone will become the part of death. So here in the last stanza of this poem, the poet refers to a dead person. He says that a dead person is away from lightning flash. A dead person has no fear of lightning flash. He has no fear of fearful thunderstorm. He has no fear of insult. He has no fear of condemnation. He has no fear of joy and sorrow. All lovers, young, all are legible. All will become the part of death. Everyone will become dead. So after performing our worldly task, what will happen? We return to our home, permanent home, that is heaven. So that is all about this poem Fear No More. तो ये पोएम जो है फियर नो मोर लिखी गई है विलियम शेक्सपियर के द्वारा, और ये एक्सट्रैक्ट है बेसिकली जो कि शेक्सपियर के प्ले सिम्बेलिन से लिया गया है, और इसमें पोएट ने डेड पर्सन को रिफ़र किया है, उसके कंसोलेशन के लिए पोएम लिखी है, और ये बताया है जो डेथ है वो एक यूनिवर्सल ट्रुथ है और सबको इसको फेस करना है। और पोएट ने इस पोएम बताया कि जो डेड पर्सन होता है वो किसी प्रकार का उसे डर नहीं होता है। एक डेड पर्सन को स्कॉर्चिंग हीट ऑफ सन से कोई मतलब नहीं होता, उससे दूर होता है। वो फियरफुल विंटर से भी वो दूर होता है, इन अनुभवों से दूर होता है। साथ ही वो अपना सांसारिक जो कार्य हैं वो उसे कर चुका होता है और इसके बाद वो अपने घर चला गया होता है। मरने के बाद अ डेड पर्सन रीचेस हिज होम दैट इज़ हेवन, वो हेवन से आता है और हेवन ही चला जाता है। पोएट एग्जाम्पल देता है कि जैसे कि लेबरर अपना काम दिन भर करते हैं और अपना वेज लेकर अपने घर चले जाते हैं, वैसे ही मनुष्य जो है अपना काम, अपना सांसारिक कार्य करने के बाद पुनः अपने घर को लौट जाता है। आगे पोएट कहता है कि जो गोल्डन लैड्स एंड गर्ल्स हैं, जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं, वो भी क्या हैं, इसके भागीदार होते हैं। उन्हें भी डेड होना पड़ता है और अपने घर जाना होता है। फिर पोएट कहता है कि एक डेड पर्सन जो है वो फ्राउन ऑफ द ग्रेट का उसे कोई डर नहीं होता है। ओके, फ्राउन ऑफ डेड का उसे कोई डर नहीं होता, उसे सुख का दुख का कोई भी डर नहीं होता। वो अब इस क्रूअल वर्ल्ड का भागीदार नहीं है, वो क्रूअल वर्ल्ड से दूर है। उसे क्लॉथ का, फूड का कोई भी परेशानी नहीं है, क्योंकि वो इन सब से दूर है। और स्केप्टर है, लर्नर है, लर्नेड पर्सन है, गुड फिजिक पर्सन, सभी को क्या है, डेथ से पार होना है। सभी डेथ के भागीदार होंगे, सभी डेथ करेंगे और सभी जो है अपने घर जाएंगे। इसके बाद पोएट कहता है कि एक डेड पर्सन को लाइटिंग फ्लैश का कोई डर नहीं होता, उसे फियरफुल थंडर का कोई डर नहीं होता, उसे इंसल्ट का, निंदा का कोई भी डर नहीं होता है, क्योंकि वो अपना जॉय, अपना दुख से पार हो चुका होता है। सो ही इज़ अवे फ्रॉम हिज मोन्स एंड एंजॉयमेंट्स। लवर्स, यंग, सभी क्या हैं, इसके भागीदार होंगे और सभी क्या हैं, आफ्टर डेथ अपने घर जाएंगे। जो उनका घर कहाँ है, स्वर्ग में है। सो वी आर द पार्ट ऑफ हेवन एंड आफ्टर परफॉर्मिंग अवर वर्ल्डली टास्क वी विल रिटर्न टू अवर होम, that is heaven. So that is all about this poem which we have discussed, that is fear no more. Okay, thank you.